Hello students and learners, welcome to the new lecture, that is lecture 9, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about three topics: health aspects of elementary canal, diseases due to malnutrition, vitamin deficiency diseases. Okay, now let us start about our discussion. First we will start with the health aspects of elementary canal. Okay, so what is the elementary canal? In the previous lessons we have discussed that a long tube starting with mouth, okay, long tube starting with mouth and ending with anus. Okay, this long tube is known as alimentary canal. So in this alimentary canal, the different stages of the digestion will occur. Okay, so next we have to discuss about health. What is health? If the body of the organisms works perfectly, that is known as health. Okay, so aspects means some conditions or some points. So alimentary canal works well all the time. Most of the time this alimentary canal works well. Okay, but sometimes in some conditions it will not work. It means it will rebel, means opposite or not supporting. So it will not support the body. So in those conditions alimentary canal will not function well. Okay, so during especially conditions like feeling sick, for example, if an individual is suffering from the fever, in that case the alimentary canal will not work well. Or having the indigestion, first we have to understand the word what is indigestion. Indigestion means, for example, you have consumed a meal which is containing the indigestible material. Okay, that is known as indigestion. In that cases the food that you eat, okay, will not get digestion, no digestion in the alimentary canal. Okay, so in that conditions what you will do, you will vomit that food material. Why? Because it cannot be digested. Okay, so this is known as indigestion. The inability to digest the food material in the alimentary canal is known as indigestion. Okay, so such kind of rebelling is known as vomiting. Vomiting means it is a procedure where the food will enter in exit out of the body. That is known as vomiting. Let us consider you have eaten the food material, or any person eaten the food material which is not good for the health. So in that conditions what will happen? The first, when he eat the food material from the mouth, okay, the food enters into the esophagus, and from the esophagus into the where? Stomach. Okay, so in that conditions if the food is not good, it will exit out in the same process, esophagus, mouth, okay, into outside, okay, outside the body. So such kind of process is known as vomiting. Here you can see in the esophagus you will see reverse peristalsis. Reverse peristalsis. So peristalsis generally occurs from the mouth, okay, mouth to stomach. Okay, mouth to stomach. But in this case, if the food material is not good, if the food is contaminated from the stomach to the mouth, so this condition, so working of such kind of what do we call it as the vomiting in the opposite direction, the peristalsis in the opposite direction is known as vomiting. Okay, so in that cases harmful substances will be eliminated outside the body. Example, especially conditions like overeating. If a person eats more than the required food material, so in that conditions the vomiting will occur. Or the person eating the food material which is containing more and more fat, in that conditions the body cannot digest the fat material, hence the fat food, okay, the fat food should be eliminated outside the body. Next, indigestible food material. Digested food material means any food that cannot be digested, so that conditions also the vomiting will be done. Poisonous food material. If any food material is contaminated with the poisonous or poisons or toxins, in that conditions also body will expel it in the form of vomiting or reverse peristalsis through the esophagus, from stomach to mouth, from the mouth to outside the body. Okay, that is about vomiting. Next is that during the vomiting the peristaltic movement is in the reverse direction, so that the food will be expelled out. Okay, and in the previous lesson also we have discussed that the peristalsis is nothing but opposite wave like movement. The wave like movement of the esophagus when the food is consumed, that is known as peristalsis movement or peristaltic movement. Okay, then next is the bilish or liverish. So these are the conditions used when there is a vomiting of the green colored fluid like substances. So generally if a person eats more amount of the food material which is containing more amount of fat, or the fat containing food, or the improper food, or the food which is containing the unhygienic condition, So in that cases, what will happen? The body cannot cope up with the all such kind of a fat which is present in the food material. So body will secrete a bile juice, and also that condition is known as bilish or liverish. In that conditions, what will happen? The patient or the person will feel headache, okay, so headache, fever, and so on. So in the next morning, what he will do? He will vomit the green color, okay, green color substance, or sometimes it will be yellow, okay, yellow color substances in the morning. So such conditions, vomiting such kind of fluids in the morning time, so is known as bilish or liverish, and this conditions is mainly due to the liver cannot cope up with the excessive fat which is present in the food material. So in that conditions, just now as we have discussed, the patient or the person is going to feel headache, okay, he is going to feel headache, and also you can see the indigestion is the condition of difficulty in digesting the food material. And in that conditions, the people has to avoid some steps. So what are those steps? So especially having the simple and well balanced meals. Simple means the food should not contains more salt, okay, more salt, more oil or fat, okay, more spices. So such kind of things should not be present in the food material. So if such kind of such kind of excess materials are not present in the food material, in that conditions you can call it as a simple food or simple meal. And balanced meals means if the food contains all necessary nutrients which is present in the food material, that is known as balanced meals. So next, eating food leisurely. Sometimes most of the students, what they will do, not only students, the elder people also, what they will do, due to the lack of time, they will eat the food material much faster. So such kind of eating method is not good for the health. So you have to take your own time to eat the food material. Such thing is known as eating food leisurely. It is very important for the good health. So proper mastication of the food material. So same thing, due to the lack of time or in hurry, the people eat the food material without proper chewing. So such kind of eating causes indigestion, okay. So the food should be consumed with proper mastication in the mouth. Next, avoid violent exercise soon after eating. So you should not do the exercise, you should not do the violent exercise or heavy exercise right after the eating. So doing such kind of exercises right after the eating causes some kind of indigestion or vomiting or headache and so on. So such kind of exercise should not be done right after the eating, okay. Consuming plenty of water and having the regular bowel movement. So if you consume required amount of water right after the eating, what it will do, it will help in the proper digestion of the food material, okay. So this is the main reason. In a day, the people should take required amount of the water, okay, and having the regular bowel movement. Regular bowel movement means going to the washroom, especially in the morning time. So the fecal matter has to be excreted. So during this process, there is a contractions and relaxations in the alimentary canal. So such kind of thing is known as regular bowel movement. So every day the nature call has to be attended, okay. So stomach and duodenal ulcers causes indigestion. So first of all, we have to understand what is duodenum and what is ulcer, okay. So duodenum, so let us consider this is a stomach, okay. So this is a stomach, and here you can see the C-shaped structure, okay. It looks like C. So C-shaped a part of alimentary canal that is known as duodenum, okay. So it is emerging right after the stomach, and it is present before the small intestine. So there is a stomach, right after the stomach there is a duodenum, and there is a ulcer. There is a chance of causing ulcers in the stomach and also in the duodenum, okay. So first, what is meant by ulcer? Let us consider this wall. We will zoom into a small portion of it. This is the wall of the stomach, okay. So this is the wall of the stomach. So what will happen? So due to some conditions, there is a damage onto the wall of the stomach. As a result, you can see here, so due to the damage over here, what will happen? The blood will leak out, and also there will be a pain, and also there will be a indigestion due to the ulcers, okay. So this is the ulcer. Ulcer means a damage to the wall or surface of the wall of the intestine or wall of the stomach or duodenum. Same kind of ulcers may be seen in the duodenum also. Here also there may be a damage onto the wall of the duodenum. So again it is also going to cause some problem in the digestion. Okay, and not only duodenum and also stomach ulcer, the people also see the mouth ulcers inside the oral cavity on the cheeks. Inside of the cheeks you can see there is a small damage to the wall. As a result it will look like a white color patch inside the mouth, and it will cause a severe pain. Sometimes blood may leak out, so that is also known as ulcers. Okay, so the people who are in a hurry and also worried, busy people having over meals and insufficient rest. So these are the causes for the ulcers. Okay, some people, some species of the bacteria and unhygienic food causes also causing the ulcers. Recent investigations and recent studies, okay, in the field of research, they came to know that some species of the bacteria is also going to cause ulcers. And not only that, unhygienic food material. So especially if you eat the food material outside the any food stall or any shop which is selling the unhygienic food material which is contaminated with toxins or bad or which is prepared with bad water or without proper washing the food material like vegetables, so in that conditions you can call that food material as unhygienic food material. So in that cases unhygienic food material also causing the ulcers. Why? Because it is previously contaminated with bacteria or some kind of toxins. So next is fiber rich food prevents the constipation. So fiber, what is meant by fiber? There are two types of the fibers. You will see one fiber in the biology, another fiber in the physics. So in the physics, the fiber, okay, so fiber means optical fiber, okay, optical fiber. So what is meant by optical fiber? So it is a thin strand of the glass. It looks like a human hair, okay, and also it is very thin like human hair. It is made up of glass, okay, you can call it as a glass wire, and it is going to carry the internet signals. Okay, internet signals are light signals. So that is known as optical fiber that you can see in the physics. And fiber, another fiber is in the biology. So fiber means it is a component, plant component. It is made up of sugars. Okay, so this fiber is indigestible. It cannot be digested. Okay, cannot be digested. So in that conditions, this fiber should be very important to the human beings. Why? Because when you eat such kind of fiber containing the food material, this fiber will not get digested in the alimentary canal. As a result, it will absorb more amount of water. It will wash away the alimentary canal. Whatever the toxins that is present in the alimentary canal, this fiber will wash away. Okay, and it will exit the fiber along with the waste materials or some kind of toxins which is present in the alimentary canal will be washed away with fiber, and the alimentary canal will look in healthier condition. So make sure you always eat the food material which is containing the fiber, or you can call it as a dietary fiber. So this fiber is rich in coconut. Okay, so this is the reason the Kerala people, they will eat more amount of coconut, and also peanut. So peanut means groundnut. So these such kind of nuts, they have the more amount of the fiber. Okay, so fiber is more important for the healthy condition of the alimentary canal and proper digestion. Okay, so if the people don't eat fiber, if the food containing less amount of fiber or no fiber at all, the people will they are going to suffer with constipation. Constipation means in the morning time, so they cannot excrete the fecal matter. Okay, so the fecal matter will become hard and it will stays in the alimentary canal for 2 to 3 4 days, and as a result, so it will not come out, and the people have the problem in excreting the waste material. Such kind of a problem and suffering is known as constipation. The inability to excrete the waste material from the alimentary canal, that is known as constipation. Okay, so the people will face a lot of problems due to the constipation. So the people who have the more headache, the most of students will suffer with headaches in the classroom. So the reason may be they have the problem of the constipation. So as a result, the water which is not the water, the food material which is present in the fecal matter, undigested fecal matter, so it contains undigested food material, and there will be fermentation going on. Fermentation will going on in the alimentary canal. So as a result, it is going to cause the headache. Okay, so make sure that you will excrete the waste material. so every day, that is known as preventing the constipation. So next is the disease due to the malnutrition. So if the first of all we have to understand about what is meant by malnutrition. Let us consider the food material. What are the materials that is present in the food material? So the nutrients like the proteins, okay, so next vitamins, okay, next carbohydrates and minerals, okay, these are the components that should be present in the normal food material. Okay, let us consider you have the eaten food material without proteins, vitamins are there, carbohydrates are there, minerals are there. So then this such kind of food material is known as insufficient unbalanced diet. This is known as unbalanced diet. So next let us consider proteins are there, vitamins are not there, carbohydrates are there, minerals are not there. This is also known as improper diet. Okay, so let us consider the proteins are there, vitamins are there, carbohydrates not there, and also minerals are not there. This is also known as malnutrition food or imbalanced diet. So if all are not present, then also malnutrition. Let us by this what we can understand, if any nutrients or any required material that is not present in the food material, that is known as malnutrition. Okay, so the proper diet means it should have the proteins, it should have the vitamins, it should have the carbohydrates, minerals, everything should be there. Then only we can call it as a balanced diet. Okay, so this is the main important thing. And diet should be balanced, one which contain the proper amount of carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, salts and fats. So these all are the things that should be present. The fat means it is a oil like substances, example cooking oil, vanaspati or anything. So that comes under the fat. So factors of the malnutrition, what happens if these proteins or carbohydrates or minerals they are absent? So what are the diseases that are going to cause? Especially based upon the malnutrition, the factor, there are three types of the malnutrition. So that is known as calorie malnutrition. Calorie refers to the sugars. Okay, calorie means sugars, it is the energy. So when you get the energy, when you consume the sugars are digested in the body, and then only you will get the energy. So hence you can call it as a calorie malnutrition. Protein malnutrition means deficiency of the proteins or less amount of proteins in the food material, that is known as protein malnutrition. So protein calorie malnutrition, in that case both sugars plus proteins are deficient, that is known as protein calorie malnutrition. So these such kind of malnutrition can be seen in the people. Okay, some people have the malnutrition of the calories, some people will have the malnutrition of the proteins, and in some people they have the malnutrition of both proteins and calories. So that is known as malnutrition, or the people suffering with the malnutrition. Okay, so the next thing is Kwashiorkor disease. So the Kwashiorkor, it is a disease that is going to cause due to the protein deficiency. So protein deficiency is present in the food material. So as a result, what is going to happen? The water is going to accumulate in the intercellular spaces. What is meant by intercellular spaces? So let us consider this is the hand. Okay, this is the hand, and in the hand what you will see? You will see the cells. You will see the cells that are present in the hand. This is one cell, this is one cell, and one cell. So they are saying that intercellular, inter means between this cell and this cell, between this cell and this cell, between and between. So what is the intermediate? Intermediate means after the 10th and before the degree. Okay, this is known as intermediate. In the same way, the cells, intercellular means between the two cells or between the adjacent cells, that is known as intercellular. So water is going to accumulate in these intercellular junctions and also causing the swelling of the body parts. What is meant by swelling? Let us consider this is the surface of the skin. Mosquito bites over here. What you will see? You will see some kind of elevations of the skin. Okay, this is known as swelling. Okay, as a result, if the water is going to get accumulated, the hands or legs or the face is going to get swelled with water. Okay, so they have the swollen legs, the legs will get swelled with water. Fluffy face, it means their face looks like a moon. Why? Because accumulation of the water, hence they have the difficulty in eating. So when the face is filled with completely water, how they can eat? They are having the problem in eating. Why? Because of accumulation of water in the face. So next, the other symptoms includes diarrhea. Diarrhea means excreting the waste materials in the form of water. Okay, in the form, whether the fecal matter may be in the form of water, or the fecal matter may be along with the blood, along with the mucus and so on. That is known as diarrhea. And they have the dry skin. the skin is not smoother and the skin is not shiny. Why? Because due to the deficiency of proteins, that is the main problem in these individuals. Next, poor muscle development. So if the protein is deficient and if the protein is deficiency in the food material, how they can develop the muscles? Muscles are nothing but they are made up of proteins. So if there is no proteins in the food material or less amount of proteins in the food material, there is no chance of developing the muscle cells in the body. Okay, this is the main important. So next is the marasmus. It is occurring due to the both proteins and also calorie deficiency in these individuals. So in these individuals the calories are deficient, it means the sugars are deficient and also proteins are less. So if the proteins and sugars are less, then you can call it as, so what is that? That is nothing but marasmus. So the factors of the marasmus includes immediate second pregnancy and repeated childbirth. Let us consider a woman, so married woman, so married or unmarried woman. She had the delivery. Okay, she had the delivery and she had delivered a baby. So right after 3 months or 4 months or 5 months, again she will have the next pregnancy. Okay, next pregnancy. In that conditions, what will happen? Her body is not suitable for the next pregnancy, but she had a pregnancy. So in that case, what happens? After 9 months, again delivery of the another baby. So this baby is going to have the lot of problems, especially marasmus. Okay, marasmus. Why? Because the mother body is not suitable to produce or suitable to provide all the nutrients for the baby. So this is the reason the marasmus is going to affect the child, and the mother also may suffer with many deficiencies. Okay, so that is known as immediate second pregnancy within no proper time. Generally the 2 years gap should be there, minimum the 2 years gap should be there right after the delivery, okay, to have another pregnancy. The symptoms are lean, weak and less developed muscles. Muscles are not proper. Why? Because why the muscles are not developed properly? There is a protein deficiency. Okay, next, dry skin. The skin will not shiny and the skin have some kind of a flaky structure and so on. Next is the diarrhea, excreting the fecal matter with water and with water like substance or mucus or with the blood. So that is nothing but diarrhea and so on. So these are the symptoms that will be faced in the people having the marasmus. Next is the obesity. So obesity, it is completely opposite with kwashiorkor and marasmus. It occurs due to the excessive calorie intake. It means they are going to take more sugars, okay, more sugars, more proteins and so on. They are going to take everything excess. Every nutrient is in the excess. That is known as obesity. So if they take all the nutrients in excess, they look fat, they look much more fat, and it is a big health hazard. Health hazard means the danger to the health, that is known as health hazard. The children with obesity are the targets of many diseases. Targets means they are going to face many diseases when they grow older, and especially the main thing is diabetes. They are going to face diabetes, cardiovascular related to the heart. The cardiovascular diseases means related to the heart. And next is the renal means kidney. They are going to face problems of the kidney diseases and so on. Not only these, there are many diseases they are going to face in the future or when they grow older. Okay, this is the main problem of the obesity. Next is the vitamin deficiency. So what are vitamins? Vitamins are nothing but organic substances. Any chemical compound which contains carbon, that is known as organic. What is inorganic? Any chemical compound which do not contains carbon, that is known as inorganic. So these vitamins are organic. Why? Because the chemical compound of the vitamins contains carbon. They are organic substances, and these vitamins are required for the human beings in less amount. Okay, you don't need more nutrients, you don't need more vitamins, you need the vitamins in a lesser quantity. So this is only the reason the people don't suffer with vitamin deficiency. But there are some people, they will not take the vitamins at all, or the food contains no vitamins at all. So in that conditions they are going to suffer with vitamin deficiency diseases. Okay, before we discuss about the vitamins, we have to make sure that the body is not going to synthesize the vitamins. Their body is not going to synthesize the vitamins. Hence the source of vitamins is two ways. Okay, how you are going to get the vitamins, how your body is taking the vitamins? One is from the microorganisms in the gut. In your gut there is a bacteria, or elementary canal there is a bacteria. Okay, this bacteria, what it will do, it will produce some amount of vitamins, some amount of vitamins will be produced by the bacteria. So, and what you are doing, you are going to provide food and shelter, the food and shelter to the bacteria. So what the bacteria is going to do, it is going to produce vitamin. Bacteria is giving the vitamins to your body, and your body is going to provide the food and shelter to the bacteria. This process is known as symbiosis. Okay, this process is known as symbiosis. You are helping the bacteria and bacteria is helping to you. Okay, both bacteria and you are getting benefited. Okay, and next another way is, or another source is from the diet. The vitamin should be present in your diet, or vitamin should be present in your food material. Okay, so based on the solubility, vitamins are classified into two groups, that is water soluble vitamins and also fat soluble vitamins. What is meant by solubility? So the ability of a substance to dissolve in water, okay, or any solute, okay, not solute, the solvent, okay, like water or any oil or any alcoholic substance, that is known as solubility. So what they are saying, water soluble, it means these vitamins like B and vitamins like C, they are going to dissolve, okay, dissolve in water, okay, dissolve in water, that is known as water soluble. So what is fat soluble? Fat soluble vitamins like A, D, E and K. Okay, and how do you remember the how do you remember fat soluble vitamins? Do you know Hindi? If you know Hindi, you are familiar with edek. Okay, edek means, see here, or some other word. So you know about the edek. Okay, so edek means A, D, E and K. These all are the vitamins. They are going to dissolve, or they are going to get solubilized in the fat. Okay, they are going to get soluble in the fat or oil. So they are known as vitamin fat soluble vitamins. Have you seen any oil packets in the supermarket? You will see that vitamin D enriched oil. So why? Because why vitamin D enriched oil? The vitamin D is going to get dissolved in the oil only. The oil packet contains what? Oil packet contains oil only, not water, no. So oil packet contains oil only. So in this oil, the vitamin D can be dissolved or added. Okay, that is known as vitamins, fat soluble vitamins. So if these vitamins are very less in the body, it is going to cause some disorders. Disorders means improper functioning of the body. So these all are the vitamins. So what are the vitamins that you can see here? You can see number of the vitamins. So what is meant by these vitamins? So these are organic components and so on. So if you see here, just now we have seen there is a water soluble vitamins. Water soluble vitamins like vitamin B and C. Here you can see number of vitamins: vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, vitamin B6, vitamin B12. So these all are the components, and each and every vitamin has a scientific name, and these scientific names are given in your textbooks. So vitamin B1 means thiamine. So this vitamin B1 is very rich in cereals like oil seeds, vegetables, milk, meat and so on. So these all are the resources. Resources means in which substance they are present, that is known as resources. Next is disease due to the deficiency. If the vitamin B1, that is thiamine, is deficient in the body, what disease is going to cause? That is known as beriberi. So the symptoms are vomiting, fits, loss of appetite, difficulty in breathing and paralysis. Paralysis means, so the connection between the brain and organ will be lost. So it means the connection between brain and leg may lost. In that case, the leg is not going to function. That is known as paralysis. Or if there is a hand paralysis, the connection between the brain and hand will get lost. That is known as paralysis. So next, fits means it is a condition where the severe muscle contraction will occur and the people will fall on the ground and they will have some kind of suffocation for a short period of time. That is known as fits. You might have seen in the movies or in real life such kind of fits is seen. You know that vomiting, it is a procedure of reverse peristalsis. Okay. Loss of appetite means these people will not feel any hunger. Okay, so generally you will feel hunger in the morning time, afternoon, and also in the night time. So that is nothing but proper appetite. So here loss of appetite means these people will lose the sensation of the hungry. Okay, so next, B2. Vitamin B2 is nothing but riboflavin. This riboflavin is rich in milk, eggs, liver, kidney, green leafy vegetables, and so on. So these deficiency of this vitamin B2 is going to cause glossitis, and in some children you may have seen their mouth are cracking at the corners. The cracked mouth at corners is known as glossitis. It is a symptom. A red and sore tongue. Their tongue will look very red. Okay. So photophobia. These people cannot look at light. Okay. Photo means light. Phobia means fear. Okay. They have the fear of the light. Next, scaly skin. Their skin will look like scales like structure. It means their skin do not have any shining appearance. Next, vitamin B3, that is known as niacin. It is rich in kidneys, liver, meat, eggs, fish, and oil seeds. So deficiency of vitamin B3 is going to cause pellagra. So the symptoms are dermatitis. Derma means skin. Okay, derma means skin. Itis means inflammation. So the skin will get inflamed. So you have just now we have discussed inflammation. Inflammation means it is a kind of swelling. Okay. Next is the diarrhea. Not only swelling, in that conditions, along with the swelling, you will see some kind of red color structure. Diarrhea, excreting of the water-like stools along with mucus, or sometimes along with the blood. That is known as diarrhea. Next is the loss of memory. So these people cannot remember properly. That is due to the less memory or loss of memory due to the vitamin B3. And also scaly skin. So this is known as scaly skin. Skin means the skin will look like scale-like structure, scaly like structure, and not shiny at all. Okay. So next, vitamin B6. It is rich in cereals, oil seeds, vegetables, milk, meat, fish, and eggs and liver. It is going to cause anemia. Anemia is nothing but wherever there is a it is nothing but deficient. So anemia means less RBC. In the blood you will see red blood cells, WBC, okay, RBC, WBC, and platelets and so on. So here the RBC is deficient. That is known as anemia. So they have the hyperirritability. Hyperirritability means they cannot respond properly to the stimuli. Stimuli means the horning sound on the roads, or responding to your question, that is known as stimuli. It means they are not going to respond properly to any change in the environment, okay, or any question. Next is the nausea. It means a headache. So vomiting and fits. They have the vomiting more often, and again they have the fits at all. They have fits normally. So next, the vitamin B2. It is known as cyanocobalamin, and they are synthesized by the bacteria. So just now we have seen in the gut there is a bacteria. This bacteria is going to help you by producing some kind of vitamins, that is known as symbiosis. You are helping the bacteria is going to help you in return. Okay, so that is present in the intestine. That is going to, if the vitamin B12 is deficient, it is going to cause pernicious anemia. Pernicious means more severe. Okay, more severe or very high. Okay, it means they have even more less RBC. In that case they have the lean and weak. Why? Because if the RBC is less, there is no chance of proper carrying oxygen. So RBC cells are going to carry the oxygen. So if the cells don't get proper oxygen, will they be active? No, not at all. They are not active at all. If they are not active at all, they are lean, and at the same time they are weak. Okay, at the same time they have the less appetite, means they don't feel proper hungry at proper time. Next is the folic acid. It is rich in liver, meat, eggs, milk, fruit, cereals, leafy vegetables. So again, folic acid deficiency is going to cause anemia. Okay, less RBC. In these people you will see the symptoms like diarrhea, loss of leukocytes, and also intestinal mucous problems. Leukocytes means a type of cells. Okay, mucus problem, intestinal mucus problems means the walls of the intestine is secreted with some kind of mucus, so to protect with some kind of enzymes and acids. So these intestine doesn't have the proper secretion of the mucus, that is known as mucus problems. If there is no proper secretion of the mucus, what will happen? There will be some kind of damage to the walls and intestine. So this is the another problem if the deficiency of folic acid is there. So next is the pantothenic acid. So it is rich in sweet potatoes, groundnuts, vegetables, livers, kidney, and also eggs. So if the deficiency of pantothenic acid is there, the people are going to have the sensation of the burning feet. Their feet will have the burning sensation, and sometimes some people they will have the burning sensation in the hands also. It means a sensation in the palms. So next is they have the walking problems and also sprain. Next, the biotin. It is rich in pulses, nuts, vegetables, milk, and also kidney. These diseases are the diseases like nerve disorder will be seen if the deficiency of nicotine is there. So symptoms like fatigue, mental depression, muscle pains. These. And next, the vitamin C. It is known as ascorbic acid. Okay, this is a vitamin C. It is rich in citrus fruits. Citrus fruits like especially lemon, oranges, and so on. So they are also rich in the green leafy vegetables, citrus fruits, and sprouts. Sprouts means the seeds. The seeds which you, if you soak the seeds in the water and if you cover it in the wet cloth for over a night, in the next morning you will see the growth of the small seedling, that is known as sprouts. Okay, they are very much healthier for the health. Okay, so next it is going to cause scurvy disease, that is they are the symptoms like dealing in a healing of the wounds, fractured bones, and also on. So such kind of disease, such kind of symptoms will be seen if the vitamin C is deficient. Next, vitamin A, there is retinol. So it is present in the vegetables, carrots, tomato, pumpkins, papaya, mango, and so on. So the disease is nothing but the eye disease and also skin disease. So in these people they have the symptoms like night blindness, they cannot see properly at night time, so due to the eye disease especially caused due to the vitamin A. So next they have the xerophthalmia, it means their eyes has the dry like condition. It means zero means no water, ophthalmia means it is referred to the eye. Okay, it means their eyes are dry, their eyes don't have the proper water condition. So that is known as xerophthalmia. And cornea failure. Why? Because if there is no proper water in the eye, the cornea is going to get split and it is going to cause the cornea failure. Next is the scaly skin is another symptom. So next is the vitamin D. Okay, so this is also known as sunshine vitamin. You can call it as a calciferol. So it is rich in liver, egg, butter, cod liver oil, shark liver oil, and also sun rays. So why we are saying that sun rays? Is the sun rays has a vitamin D? No, sun rays do not have the vitamin D. But if you stand in the sunlight or under the sun rays, what will happen? The sunlight will fall on your skin and your skin starts producing the vitamin D with the help of the sun rays. Okay, so deficiency is going to cause rickets. Rickets is nothing but bent bones. Their legs, the bones which is present in the legs and hands will get bent due to the deficiency of vitamin D. So that is improper formation of bones, knock knees, swollen wrist. The wrist will get swollen. Next, the delay in dentition. Dentition means formation of the teeth in the children. It means they are going to take more time to form a teeth in their mouth. Next, weak bones and so on. Next, the vitamin E. This vitamin E is also known as tocopherol. So they are rich in fruits, vegetables, sprouts, meat, eggs, and also sunflower oil. So the fertility disorder will be the disease seen if the vitamin E deficiency is seen. So that is going to cause sterility in males and abortion in females. What is sterility? Sterility means inability to have a children. Okay, that is known as sterility, or inability to produce the gametes. Okay, that is known as sterility. So that is not they cannot produce a spermatozoa, or if the sterility in females is seen, they are not going to produce the ovum. That is known as sterility. So sometimes in the females, if the vitamin E is seen, there is a chance of abortion. So it means the baby in the womb will get terminated due to the deficiency of vitamin E. So next is the vitamin K. Vitamin K is also known as phyllocquinones. They are rich in green leafy vegetables and milk. And the disease of this vitamin K is going to cause blood clotting disease. So if the blood clotting disease is seen, the symptoms are delay in blood clotting. So let us consider there is an injury on the skin. So the blood will leak out. So what happens in natural mechanism? Within 2 to 3 minutes, there is a stopping of the wound. Okay, the blood flow will be stopped. It means the bleeding will be stopped. But if the deficiency of vitamin K is there, they will be taking more time. Instead of 3 minutes, they may take 6 minutes or 10 minutes. Why? Because the vitamin K is more deficient. Okay, that is going to cause more bleeding. It means more loss of the blood will be seen when there is an injury in these individuals. Okay, and I hope this lecture is helpful to you, and you can subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel, you will get notifications when the class is going to start. Generally the class will start at 9 o'clock, and a minimum of one lecture will be there per day, and sometimes 2 or 3 lectures may be present. And like the video, share the video with your friends so that they are also going to get benefited, and comment. So you can ask doubts or questions in the comment section, so that we will reply to your comment or doubt or question. And next is the next lecture is about nutrition chapter full revision. In the next lecture we are going to revise the complete chapter, so that you will get the overview, and also you will get some understandings and a complete clear idea about this nutrition chapter. Okay, and that is in the lecture 11, and we will see you in the next lecture. Okay.